Hi everyone, welcome to Rain Francis Art for Kids. My name is Rain. In this series, Alphabet Soup, we choose a letter from the alphabet and we draw food that starts with that letter. So let's draw. Today's letter is the letter O. O is for orange. So today I'm going to show you how to draw this cute little orange. Let's begin. This is what you'll need for today's lesson. You'll need a piece of paper. I have a drawing pad that I bought at the dollar store. It's 8.5 inches by 11 inches wide. You're going to need a pencil, an eraser, and this is always fun to use. If you have an old paintbrush that you haven't used for painting, I got this at the dollar store. It's great to wipe off the eraser bits or the dust or the hair on your page. We are going to need some color. We're going to need orange, yellow. We need green. I have two greens here. I have a light green and a dark green, but if you only have one green, that's okay. And you're going to need black. I'm probably not going to use that black. I'm going to use my fine tip black marker. So if you have a fine tip black marker, you could use that too. So let me clear off my workspace here and we can begin. Let me wipe off my page. Now we're going to start with writing out the word orange. So let's start with a capital O. Looks just like a circle. And a small o. Just a small circle. Now let's write out orange. Capital O. R. A. N, G, and E. Orange. So let's take our pencil and let's draw our orange. Now the first thing we're going to do is just draw a really big circle. This is the orange. And it doesn't have to be a perfect circle because nothing in nature is perfect, right? Oranges aren't perfect. Let me move this up a little bit here so you can see better. Okay. Now this orange needs a little bit of a stem on top, just a little stem, and a leaf. Okay, and on this leaf we'll draw a line right in the middle with some lines coming out. These are called the veins of the leaf. Okay, right now it kind of looks like an apple or even a pumpkin, but let's try to make it look like an orange. Okay, let's draw some eyes, some nice big eyes. I love the oval eyes, so one big oval and a small one at the bottom for the pupil. Another one next to it. Try to make it the same size. There we go. And a little smile like the shape of a U. All right. Now what I want you to do is take your pencil and very, very lightly draw a little circle here, very lightly. I don't want you to press as hard as you did drawing the rest of the orange, just a tiny little circle here, because we're going to leave that white. We might put a little yellow into that, but we're going to try to leave that white, okay? So what I want you to do first, why don't we do the orange first? So let's take our orange color, and we're going to color in the entire orange except for 3 places. That little circle that we drew here and the 2 eyes, okay? Otherwise, I want you to put orange all inside that circle. And if you're using a coloring pencil today, don't press down too hard. You don't have to, because we're going to be putting on a couple of layers, which means we're going to be coloring it in a few times. And we're going to be putting yellow on top of the orange. That's going to be fun. Remember, don't get any orange into that circle or into the eyes. And I want you to remember to turn your pencil once in a while as you're coloring. The reason we turn our pencil is so that you don't wear it down all on one side. If you wear it down all on one side, what happens is that it gets weaker. The tip becomes very weak and it will break, and you have to sharpen it more, which means that it wears out quicker and you have to buy more. And we're trying to be frugal, right? We're trying to keep our art supplies as long as we can. So let's turn our pencil once in a while and not press down very hard so that we don't break the tip. Now I'm just being very careful around the eyes right now so that I don't get any orange into the eyes. All right. Don't forget to turn your pencil once in a while. Sometimes while I'm coloring, I kind of turn it at the same time. If I'm doing large areas, I can do that. See what I'm doing? Watch the writing on the pencil as I'm going. It's disappearing because I'm turning my pencil as I'm coloring. I do that when I'm doing large areas. My cat is snoring. It sounds like a hum. I don't know if you can hear that. My pets always fall asleep when I'm doing my drawing videos. I guess they find it as relaxing as I do. All right, I'm trying to just stay in my lines here. But if you go out, don't worry about it. We're just having some fun here. Okay, well, I've applied my first layer. And a layer is just, all it means is, this is one layer. That means I've colored it in once. I'm going to go ahead and apply a second layer, but not of orange. I'm going to take my yellow and I'm going to apply a second layer of color, which means I'm coloring it in a second time. Because I kind of want a mix of orange and yellow here. And I'm going to be careful right now not to get any yellow into that. Actually, you know what? I've made a decision. I'm going to put yellow into that area. Just like that. Now don't forget to turn your pencil and don't press down too hard. But you see the difference between here and here? That's one layer of orange and this is two layers of different colors. It's very different. It gives it a really nice effect, I think. In this drawing, we're going to use 3 layers, so that's going to be fun. As I'm going, I'm turning my pencil. Don't forget to turn your pencil. Try not to get any of the yellow into the eyes, okay? And don't press down too hard. If your hand starts to get sore or it starts to get tired or it starts to hurt, I think that means you might be pressing down too hard. So just ease up a little. Do you like to eat oranges? I love oranges. I love orange juice. I love everything about oranges. Here's a picture of a drink that I made last Halloween. It's just orange soda, but I cut up some orange slices and I put them in the drink because I wanted it to kind of look like pumpkins. But it was a lot of fun to make it all, you know, looking Halloween-y. Orange definitely is the color of Halloween. Don't forget to turn your pencil. Okay, so I've put my second layer of color on. The first layer was orange, the second layer was yellow. Now I'm going to go in and lightly put on a third layer of color, and it's going to be that orange again. I just want to get a nice little mix of orange and yellow. And I'm being careful. I don't want to get any of this orange into that little circle or into the eyes, okay? So just be careful there. You know, you can make arts and crafts with oranges. One winter I made some bird feeders actually out of oranges. Here's a picture of those. They have little sunflower seeds in them. And here's a picture of them in the trees when I hung them up. The little chickadee birds loved them. I think they liked the sweet taste of the orange also. Don't forget to turn your pencil. What do you guys think? Do you like the combination of the yellow and the orange together? I think it looks fabulous. All right, so we've got our third layer on. I don't think I've ever done this before, but I'm going to actually put on a fourth layer, but not everywhere. I'm using my orange, and I want to put a fourth layer just sort of on this side of the orange, just down here. It just gives it a little bit of interest. Maybe it looks a little like a little bit of a shadow. Just like that. Okay. I think I'm pretty happy with how my orange is looking right now, so I'm going to go ahead and fill in some green color. I'm going to take my dark green and just color in that stem. Just one layer. And I'm going to take my light green and color in the leaf. I think I might do 2 layers on this leaf. Yes, I think I'm going to do 2 layers. And remember, a layer just means that you're coloring it in a second time, because you can see the difference. This is 1 layer, this is 2 layers. 2 layers looks much nicer, I think. And don't forget to turn your pencil. And if you haven't seen one of these things before, this is a pencil extender. Basically, when you have a tiny little pencil, sometimes it's hard to color with a tiny little pencil. These pencil extenders really come in handy. You just slip it in tighten it. And now you can hold it like a regular pencil. It's really, I love these pencil extenders. All right. So I think we're finished with the color now of the orange. We can take out our black. And if you have a black marker, you can use it. If not, you can use your black coloring pencil. And we're going to outline the entire orange, okay? The only thing we're not going to outline is that little round circle that we did there. That's going to remain as is. But otherwise, we're going to outline everything. So I want you to just take your time. Pay attention to what you're doing. And don't rush it. And if you've, like I did right here, I sort of went a little below the orange. What you can do is you can take your orange coloring pencil and just fill in wherever you know, if you went a little too low, don't worry about it. You can always add more color. Just really pay attention and focus on what you're doing. This is a good exercise for you to pay attention to detail. And also for patience. You know, sometimes we rush through things a little too much, so it's good to take our time. I'm just filling in all of those lines that I drew with pencil at the beginning. How are you guys doing? Let's outline the eyes and the pupils. And we're going to color in the pupils black. Okay, let's fill in those pupils. And if you're using marker, I want you to be extra careful because we can't erase marker, can we? Okay, so let's do the same thing with this eye. Let's outline it and then fill in the pupil with black. There's another thing that I used to do, and I would like to start doing that again, is I used to make these. These are orange Yuletide decorations that I put up around Christmas time. I basically dehydrated the orange slices and I strung them up with ribbon. And when you put them up in the window, it's really nice, and they smell really good too. They're very colorful because, you know, some of us live in a northern climate where we have long winters. So when you have some oranges hanging in your window, it kind of makes it a little more cheerful on those long winter days. Okay, now I'm just going to outline the smile. I really like this orange. It was very simple today, but I taught you how to blend colors. You could get a nice result when you blend orange and yellow. And if you want to, you can experiment at home by blending different colors. I mean, you might have some purple and some blue, and you might have some blue and some red together that makes a purple. You can combine some greens and some yellows together. Just have fun experimenting with color. It really is a lot of fun. Now, the last thing I want you to do, as usual, is to sign your work. I want you to be proud of the work that you've done today. You've created a masterpiece. I hope that you enjoyed this lesson today, my friends, and remember to Mom and Dad, if you post your kids' art on Instagram, I would love to see it, so don't forget to tag me. The link is in the description below or on the About section of my channel. We'll see you next time on Alphabet Soup. Thanks for watching. Bye!